Hello students, today we are going to start a new topic of chemistry paper first, which is ionic equilibrium. In last year we already discussed about the types of chemical reaction, that is irreversible chemical reaction, a reversible chemical reaction and chemical equilibrium. A chemical equilibrium is the stage of a reversible reaction when the rate of forward reaction is equal to a rate of backward reaction. There are two types of chemical reaction. The first one is irreversible reaction. For example, reactant A and B reacts together to form a product. It is irreversible chemical reaction. That is, in this reaction, reactant reacts together and forms a product, but this product do not give a reactant back. That is, a single direction reaction takes place only in a forward direction. These are the fast reaction, always goes to completion. All natural processes which are spontaneous in nature are irreversible process or irreversible reaction. Then, suppose the reaction like A plus B gives a products. These products again combines together to form a reactants. That is, there are some reaction in which reactants gives products and these products again gives original reactant backs. The first reaction is forward reaction, while this is a backward reaction. These are reversible chemical reactions. Such reactions are slow reactions, never goes to a completion. And for such reversible chemical reactions, the stage at which this rate of forward reaction is equal to a rate of a backward reaction is called as a equilibrium state. Equilibrium state means the stage of reaction when a rate of forward reaction is equal to a rate of backward reaction. At this stage, the concentration of reactant as well as concentration of products remain constant. The reaction is in progress, that is, a chemical equilibrium is a dynamic in nature, but the rate of both reactions remain constant. While the ratio of concentration of products to the concentration of reactants are known as equilibrium constant, denoted by or shown by a capital K. For example, a capital K, when reactants and products are present in the liquid state, then equilibrium constant is denoted by Kc, is equal to a concentration of products upon a concentration of reactants. That is, the ratio of concentration of products and concentration of reactant is called as an equilibrium constant. This is the basic knowledge required for our new concept, which is an ionic equilibrium. Then What do you mean by ions? When a molecules, for example, a molecules like HCl, when dissolved in water, HCl gives H plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous. The molecule forms a positive and negatively charged ion. This process is called as a ionization or dissociation. In general, if a molecules like ammonium hydroxide NH4OH dissolved in water, it gives ammonium ion NH4 plus aqueous plus OH minus aqueous. This ammonium molecule does not dissociate completely. If we take 10 mole of ammonium hydroxide, it will yield only few moles of ammonium ion as well as a hydroxyl ion, and majority of part of molecules remains in undissociated form. Suppose this is a reversible reaction. See these two examples. First, a molecule dissociates completely, and hence the reaction is denoted by single arrow pointed towards a forward direction. In this reaction, this molecule dissociates to small extent. A reaction is a reversible reaction. Then, this concept of ionic equilibrium is applicable only for such a reversible process. We can define an ionic equilibrium as, the ionic equilibrium means the equilibrium which is present in between these ions and unionized or undissociated molecules present in aqueous solution. Once again, the equilibrium which exists or which is present between the ions and undissociated molecules in aqueous solution is known as ionic equilibrium. In short, in simple manner, the equilibrium between ions and undissociated molecules is called as an ionic equilibrium. Okay? पहिला कन्सेप्ट इथं आपला क्लिअर झाला की आयोनिक इक्विलिब्रियमची डेफिनेशन आपण बघितली. द इक्विलिब्रियम एक्झिस्ट बिटवीन, प्रेझेंट बिटवीन or established between the molecules of ions as well as same undissociated molecules present in the aqueous solution is called as an ionic equilibrium. Then a second important unit which is known as an electrolyte. Do we know that? Electrolytes, its definition, its example. Electrolyte is any substance, any species which can dissociate into a positively and negatively charged ions. A positively charged ions means ions migrate toward the cathode, that is cations, and anions when dissolved in aqueous solution. That is any substance, any species which can give a positively charged as well as a negatively charged ions in their aqueous solution are called as electrolytes. While the substance which do not give such kind of ions in their aqueous solutions are known as non-electrolytes. Suppose if we consider a molecules like AB, when this AB is dissolved into water, if it gives a positively charged ions like A plus and B minus, then such substance is called as electrolyte. If it does not give such kind of ion, then these substances are known as a non-electrolytes. This is common example. For example, HCl, when dissolved in water gives H plus and Cl minus ion, hence this is electrolyte. Salt, sodium chloride, when dissolved in water, it will produce Na plus as well as Cl minus ion, hence sodium chloride is called as electrolyte. Ammonium hydroxide, if we dissolve urea into large number of water, it does not produce such kind of ions, and hence these are non-electrolytes. And electrolyte means any substance which dissolved in water and can produce cations as well as anions. Then these electrolytes are classified into two major types. That is a classification of electrolytes. These electrolytes are classified into two types. This classification is depends upon the extent of ionization. That is, how much amount of this substance undergo dissociation in their aqueous solution, that is on the basis of extent of dissociation. Electrolytes are classified into two types. The first one is a strong electrolytes. A strong, its name itself suggests that. A strong, that is electrolyte which dissociates completely or almost completely. Electrolytes which dissociates completely or almost completely in their aqueous solution is called as a strong electrolyte. If, for example, if we consider or if we take 10 mole of hydrochloric acid HCl, when it dissolved in excess of water, the solution is known as an aqueous solution of hydrochloric acid. Out of this 10 mole, this HCl will produce 10 mole of H plus ions as well as 10 moles of Cl minus ion. That is, this HCl dissociates almost completely. No undissociated part remains therein, hence the process is irreversible and known as a strong electrolyte. Next example, sodium chloride, NaCl. When dissolved in water, it will produce Na plus Cl minus ion. Dissociates completely, hence it is strong electrolyte. Then all strong acids and strong bases, all salts are strong electrolytes. All salts dissociates completely. NaCl, KCl, ammonium sulfate, etc., aluminum chloride. हे सगळेच्या सगळे सॉल्ट 100% dissociate होतात म्हणून these are strong electrolytes. All strong acids, that is acid like HCl, then H2SO4, HNO3, or strong base like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, they almost dissociate completely, hence these are the strong electrolytes. Then weak electrolytes. Weak electrolytes. A substance or any species which dissociate to less extent or which dissociate partially into a positively and negatively charged ions in their aqueous solutions are called as a weak electrolytes. म्हणजे काय की ते सबस्टन्स अगदी कमी प्रमाणात डिसोसिएट होतात, लेस अमाउंट ऑफ H प्लस पॉझिटिव्ह आणि निगेटिव्ह आयन्स देत आहेत. Such substances or electrolytes are called as a weak electrolytes. All weak acids, for example, acetic acid, CH3COOH, weak acid. It dissociates to give few number of acidic ions and few number of H plus ions. The major part of acetic acid remain as undissociated. Hence, it is weak electrolytes. Weak base, ammonium hydroxide, dissociates partially, gives less number of positively and negatively charged ions. Hence, it is a weak electrolytes. Here, a reversible process is observed during a dissociation of weak electrolytes. When weak electrolytes are dissolved into water, a few ions as well as undissociated molecule is present. That is a reversible kind of phenomena is obtained here, and hence an equilibrium can establish between these ions and undissociated molecules. Such dissociation of weak electrolyte is represented by arrows pointing towards a forward direction and arrow pointing towards the reversible direction. Hence, equilibrium will obtain only and only in a reversible process. Okay? Next concept आपल्याला बघायचा आहे, which is called as a degree of ionization or a degree of a dissociation. This degree of ionization or degree of dissociation is denoted by or represented by. For example, next concept, degree of dissociation. A degree of dissociation is denoted by alpha. This degree of dissociation can be defined as the fraction of total number of molecules, the fraction of total number of molecules undergo ionization or a dissociation is known as a degree of a dissociation. The fraction of number of moles of molecules undergo dissociation. That is, alpha is nothing but a fraction of number of moles undergo dissociation upon total number of molecules. A degree of dissociation, which is denoted by alpha and can be defined as the fraction of total number of moles which dissociates into ions at equilibrium condition. For example, if we consider a molecules like AB, this molecule AB will dissociate into A plus B minus aqueous when dissolved into water. After some time, an equilibrium will obtain between undissociated as well as dissociated molecule, that is ions. The fraction of total number of moles of ions that undergo dissociation at equilibrium is called as degree of dissociation, which is denoted by alpha. This alpha or degree of dissociation can be calculated by the formula alpha is equal to a fraction of number of moles undergo dissociation, that is dissociated, divided by total number of molecules. If 2 molecules undergo dissociation and if we take 10 molecules, that is ratio of 2 upon 10 is known as a degree of dissociation alpha. A percentage alpha is equal to degree of dissociation alpha multiplied by 100. Alpha into 100 is called as a percentage dissociation. Okay. After this degree of dissociation, we will discuss about some important definitions of acids and bases. We know various examples of acids as well as bases. In the chapter, these acids and bases are defined by 3 different theories. The first one is Arrhenius theory, then Lowry-Bronsted theory, and last one is Lewis theory. Acids and bases are defined by various theories, but before these theories, acids and bases are defined by a very simple manner, and this theory or this concept was called as old or a classical definitions of acids and bases. Okay, according to this classical theory, the acid is a substance in which solution blue litmus paper turns to red, while a base is a substance in its aqueous solution a red litmus paper turns to red. This definition includes the taste of acids as well as the taste of base, that is sour taste, bitter taste, litmus test, then neutralization reaction. These all are the classical definition. But after some times, some scientists work on these concepts. A first theory introduced by a scientist, Arrhenius, that is Arrhenius theory, to explain or to define the concepts of acids and bases. Okay, according to this Arrhenius theory, acid is a hydrogen containing substance. Acid is hydrogen containing a substance which gives H plus ions in their aqueous solution. Okay, according to Arrhenius, any compound, any substance like HCl, H2SO4, HNO3, acetic acid, any compound, but this compound must contain hydrogen. Hence, acid means a hydrogen containing substance which gives H plus ions in their aqueous solution. It's called as Arrhenius acids. For example, when this HCl is dissolved in water, it will produce H plus Cl minus. When we dissolve H2SO4, it will yield twice H plus sulfate SO4 minus ion. That is a hydrogen containing substance whose aqueous solution containing H plus ion is called as Arrhenius acid. In similar manner, a base is hydroxy compound. That is A substance, any species molecule must contain OH, hydroxy compound, which gives OH minus ions in their aqueous solution is called as Arrhenius base. The base means any compound. For example, NaOH, NH4OH, KOH, NH3 does not contain hydroxyl group and hence theory cannot explain its basic nature. AlCl3 does not contain hydrogen, hence Arrhenius theory does not explain acidic or basic nature. According to Arrhenius theory, acid is hydrogen containing substance which gives H plus ion, while a base is hydroxy compound which gives, for example, NaOH. This NaOH produces Na plus aqueous and OH minus aqueous. Arrhenius concentrated only upon the presence of H plus ions as well as presence of OH minus ions in their aqueous solution. Very simple theory. But this theory has some major limitations or major drawbacks. Basically, hydrogen containing substance, acid, OH containing substance, base. This Arrhenius theory has some major limitations. काही limitations आपण बघितले. This Arrhenius theory, first limitation, it fails to explain the acidic nature of the compounds like AlCl3. It does not explain the acidic nature of a compound which do not contain hydrogen. की ज्या सबस्टन्स मध्ये हायड्रोजनच प्रेझेंट नाही त्याचा ऍसिडिक नेचर ही थिअरी एक्सप्लेन करू शकत नाही. Similarly, it has second limitation. This theory, that is Arrhenius theory, fails to explain the basic nature of compounds which does not contain OH. For example, ammonia is a basic in nature, but Arrhenius theory does not give any explanation about the basicity of this ammonia because it does not contain OH. Then, third limitations. This Arrhenius theory is applicable only for aqueous solution. की फक्त आणि फक्त aqueous solution लाच applicable आहे. It does not applicable for non-aqueous solution. If a solution is prepared in another solvent, non-aqueous solution, theory does not give any explanation about acidic or basic nature of a compound. One major limitation, according to this theory, acid gives H plus ions in their aqueous solutions. But in aqueous solution, this H plus ion is surrounded by large number of water molecules. Aqueous solution मध्ये काय होतंय? When acid dissociates to give H plus ion, this H plus ion is surrounded by a large number, more number of water molecules. This H plus ion does not exist. This H plus ion is converted into hydronium H3O plus ions. It converted into H3O plus ions. This Arrhenius theory does not give any explanation about the existence of this hydronium ion. Okay? चार मेजर लिमिटेशन्स आपण बघितली, दोन डेफिनेशन बघितल्या. दिस इज अ फर्स्ट इम्पॉर्टंट theory which is Arrhenius theory to explain a definition of acids and bases. according to this Arrhenius theory, acid reacts with water, and for a salt as well acid, according to this theory, acid reacts with base, and for a salt plus water is known as a neutralization. Means according to Arrhenius theory, a neutralization is the reaction between acid and base to form a salt and water. पहिली थिअरी आपण कंप्लीट केली आर्हेनियस थिअरी. त्यानंतर सेकंड थिअरी आपल्याला बघायची लाउली ब्रॉन्स्टेड थिअरी. नेक्स्ट व्हिडिओ मध्ये आपण पुढचा कन्सेप्ट एक्सप्लेन करू. ओके.